Hi, this is Shay and welcome to my channel. Today I would like to share my honest review of the play David, which is now playing at the Sight and Sound Theaters in Branson, Missouri through January the 3rd. Before I get into my review, I would like to answer this question for those that may not know who David is. David was one of the most important as well as well-known Bible figures in the Bible. He was a shepherd, a poet, a warrior, and the second king of Israel. He was the youngest of Jesse's 8 sons, and he was also from the tribe of Judah. David was anointed by God, by Samuel, when King Saul disobeyed God. David was chosen by God not because of his appearance or his status quo, but because he had a heart after God. 1 Samuel chapter 13 verse 14 says this, "But now your kingdom will not endure. The Lord has sought out a man after his own heart and appointed him ruler of his people, because you have not kept the Lord's command." See, it was because of David's faith in God that he was successful. He killed a lion and a bear while protecting his father's sheep. And he killed Goliath, the giant, with just a stone and a slingshot. David became a musician and a warrior in the court of Saul until Saul became jealous of the attention and the popularity that David gained because of his successes. So for years, David ran from King Saul, but later was crowned king after Saul's death. And you know what? I would like to say this. Not everything about David was shaded in a positive light, because David also sinned. He committed adultery with Bathsheba, who was married, and he arranged for her husband Uriah's death to cover up her pregnancy. But God sent Nathan to confront David about his actions, and David earnestly repented, which is beautifully expressed in Psalms 51. So David was a man after God's heart, but he wasn't perfect. And in this play, we have the pleasure of looking into the life of David up and close. The scenery of this play was beautifully and well done. The characters played their parts out well. The graphics was phenomenal. Every aspect of this play was meticulously done, and it was well written, planned, and illustrated. And what I love most about this play was peeking into his life in real time. It's almost like you were right there. You can imagine being present in key moments of David's life as it unfolds. The music, the lights, and the sound system, the props brought this production to life. And as I watched, I was reminded of how similar David's life was of Jesus. Both David and Jesus was born in Bethlehem. They were both anointed to be king, rejected by their own people, betrayed, and they both had to wait for their kingdom to be established. David waited for the death of King Saul, while Jesus waited until his appointed time. But there were also differences in their lives. Unlike David, who gave into temptation, Jesus, he resisted temptation from Satan in the wilderness, and he lived a life of purity without sin. Sometimes David, he was overly zealous in defending his honor, while Jesus, he didn't take retaliation against his enemies, and he taught his disciples not to do the same. In fact, one of the scenes there, it was a statement made by Samuel to David that still resonates within me. He told David, "Some fights aren't fought with a sword." And the reason why this resonates with me, because sometimes we try to fight spiritual fights with physical tools. Throughout this production, we were reminded how God fights our battles over and over and over again. They kept saying, "The battle is not yours." And whenever David was preparing to go out for battle, he played his harp, he worshiped, and he will ultimately win the battle. And it was because of his trust, his faith, his confidence in God. But the scene that was most impactful to me was the one when David slays the giant, Goliath. I have no idea how they did this, but the graphics of this scene was amazing, and the crowd cheered. There were many scenes like this, and it left us speechless, sitting on the edge of our seats because they were well done. So overall, I say that this play, in my opinion, it was great. It was phenomenal. The actors did a great job with their part. The music was well done, and those who sang songs could actually sing, which in my opinion, this is important. The songs were soothing and peaceful, and whoever was in charge of the props or managed the stage, they get a thumbs up for me because it was well done. Now, the only drawbacks of the play is its length, but of course, all of the plays are lengthy. But sitting in those chairs in a packed stadium, which by the way was sold out except one seat, is both uncomfortable as well as a challenge. Getting back to your seat on time after the intermission, it was a mission itself. The lines to the bathroom as well as the concession stand was extremely long. It wasn't a big deal, but I noticed that some things was added to the play, and I'm sure that they did this to keep our attention. So some of the scenes felt more like a Broadway production, but it was well done. Don't take my word for it. I recommend that you check out this play for yourself. You will not be disappointed. At the end of the production, if you were in need of prayer, there was someone from their team that was available to pray with you. And I thought this was pretty neat as well as necessary. So I would like to close with this. The story of David, it demonstrates to us that God, he can use an imperfect person to fulfill his perfect plan and purpose. And we can see this by looking at the life of David. David was a shepherd who became a king. He was a sinner who became a saint. And he was also a man whose heart longed for God above all else. We can learn a lot from his life. This is all that I have for you today. And I pray that this video has encouraged you. And please, if you decide to go to see this play, drop your comments below because I would love to hear what you think. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.